Good afternoon, everyone. Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths first. If you'd like to send some love out to the children around the world, that would be great, or wherever your heart leads you. So let's first go ahead and take that deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. And so it is. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm going to show you the pictures and we're going to roll the die and get going here. So I have two messages of the day, the union read and the twin flame read, and some just general energies I'm going to bring up as well. This is the union read, 3D, 4D, 5D today, the feminine left, masculine right, the bridge between them in the center, the divine feminine incoming, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies of the Six of Cups, and the closing energies there of the Queen of Pentacles. The read in front of you is here. It is a 7-deck read, a lot of energy. It is a general read. They're both general reads. This one's more general energies for all of the twin flames. The other one's more union oriented. If you want something more specific, my information is below, as well as my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there also, Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. And here's the first message of the day. And the second message of the day, which was done today. Okay. And I had my old fillings taken out this morning, which was so pain-free. It was wonderful. It was so much less pain getting the Novocaine than when I was young. It was and my dentist is wonderful. So a lot of good masculine energy coming in. So, I told you about my water heater breaking and the cleanup crews coming, and I was dealing with a whole bunch of masculines. And then today again, I had a lot of different masculines. I had to go to the dentist. I have the contractors coming to give me an estimate for the basement. I had my lawn guy here with his crew. And just really smooth masculine energies. A lot of masculine energy coming toward the feminine, as you can see. And a lot of some of that will come up in the reads. Just going very smoothly. It was a really nice visit this morning, too. I was just doing a little meditation to see what was coming up for me, perhaps with some messages for you. And they were very general today. I wasn't getting any puzzle pieces so much to put together as opposed to just general energies of ancestors, friends through your life, kind of doing a general review of your family and friends. Also, the very expressive Italian was coming up, as well as the Empress Russian was coming up, and I guess that's in my lineage there. But so of course all of you know the expressive Italian. The Russian Empress was coming up as, the elitist who had this beautiful, Siberian coat on, black coat with the fleece lining that came out and became a cape, like a blanket, so that she could warm herself in case it got really cold. And she just was walking and all of a sudden just dropped it for the slaves to pick up. So it was a very elitist energy. So clearing that type of energy as well. But I feel like it's focusing more on the feminine energy and feminine friends and working towards those. It's just a review. I wasn't getting necessarily like a big, deep like that deep dive we've been going through the past few days. Today it was more of just like doing an overall review of some energies that you've already gone through, just kind of to see how it relates to you now. And then, like I said, for myself, I was getting the expressive Italian and the elitist Russian coming up. So for me, the Russian energy is very interesting because I don't have any Italian in my lineage, but my first husband was Italian, so there was definitely a connection there that I had to clear. But also, there is a Italian connection in my lineage. So my great-grandfather established an institute of agriculture in Rome, and there's a big connection there with the Italian king. So that, I guess, I was clearing. But also the Russian ancestry, which I didn't think I had any Russian ancestry until about 10 years ago, when we found out that my grandfather wasn't my actual grandfather. My father's side, my father's mother had told him on her deathbed, and that was when I was in college. And then my dad never told any of us, not even my mom. And then my youngest brother was interviewing him with an Ancestry.com interview form. And when he asked about my grandfather, my dad just all of a sudden say, "Oh, he's not my biological grandfather." I'm like, "What?" So none of us knew until about 10 years ago. So my biological grandfather apparently was Russian Orthodox. And we all thought we were all 100% Jewish lineage, right? Because we have a lot of Polish background, Polish, English, German. But no, my biological grandfather was Russian. Him and his brother were kicked out of Russia for anti-Tsar behavior when they were young. And I found someone who I believe is my great-grandfather, or my grandfather. He's passed away. But he looks exactly like my father, except for the eyes. And he was actually a physician as well. And so I had researched some of that lineage as well. So it's interesting what's being brought up that I have no connection to in this lifetime anyway. So you do that for yourself as well. All of that's coming up. Hopefully what I've just been talking about has triggered something for you to bring up within yourself, within your own lineage. So let's go into the messages of the day here. So the two, this one was done yesterday at 1:0728. The 1 of the Magician, the 7 and 8 of the Chariot, and then the Strength card, the Dance, the manifestation of dreams, as opposed to the number 4, which comes up for me as manifestation of survival. I was watching The Irishman for a while last night. I actually didn't finish it. It's a very long movie. But yeah, so mob energy came up the other day, and now it's coming up again. And we are in that Scorpio energy of money, death, and taxes, and sex. So doing a lot of deep diving and clearing of the sexual wounds, especially for twins, is a big deal because we all feel the sexual energy between each other. Everyone has different abilities as far as how much they feel, because some people see more, some people hear more, some people get claircognizance or instant knowings. Whatever your clairsentience is, everybody's is different in a different combination of things. But we all have that connection with our twin. It's a direct connection. We share an etheric body. So you can feel the love energy, and you can also feel the sexual energy. And that can be very traumatizing, especially when you're feeling very specific acts going on, which not everybody feels, but some do. And if you are busy all the time and stressed out, you don't feel this, because as you guys all know, you really awaken to your twin flame journey as you start attuning to your body. So for me, it was an injury. So I first had a back injury at work, and then I got hit by a car jogging. So then I was put down on my back again, and it was all the universe's way of getting you to tune into your body to see what's going on in there and connect with your higher self. So until you are still and really connecting with your higher self, you may not feel that connection. If you're stressed out in the 3D world, you may not necessarily feel it. You may know it when you see the person and talk to them. You may know there's a connection there, but you may not understand the profundity of the connection and how traumatizing the sexual energy can be, right? When you're feeling something you don't want to feel, especially when somebody else is in another relationship. So the sexual wounds of Scorpio are very important, especially for the twin flame couples here and energies. The message of the day, the first one here at 1:07-8, the underlying energy was the bat, the fish, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and the mature man. The bat out of hell, an abundant exchange, the powerless mature man. The rabbit or bunny is scared of speaking their truth to the panther, right, who's kind of ferocious and growling, as the bat gets away. Sudden dreams, galactic soulmates, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, dancing with the whip, perhaps double Dutch. Justice and energetic exchange, and now swimming with the fishes, and that's a mob, expression, so that could be coming up again. The abundant King of Pentacles, right, the wealthy man, and the Empress who triumphs with the King of Cups, that loving man at work, with a either dependent spending or dependent spending too much, and this can be a partner as well, or just the general powerlessness of this, perhaps of losing money and or status, or security, because it could be anything to do with Pentacles, which is the energy of day-to-day living, time, money, and effort. The community of the Knight of Cups with an empty room now, or perhaps a work that's now complete, for the Hermit to institute changes and or moving in a destined journey to the Hierophant, mature man, or just a mature man who's now free, or abundant children who are powerless without their worldly father. So again, the children of a father who did very well for himself, or like the Godfather. And I have to say that too, because my father, my family was just very much like that they always wanted to make sure that grandchildren had something to go to college with. So my grandparents did that for us, and then my parents did that for our children as well. So, and again, it's different in every family, but there's that kind of energy of, where would the children be without their father who did all that work for them? And it's not saying that the children aren't doing just as hard work, but obviously people manifest in different ways or different amounts, and not one is better than the other. It just depends what your contract is, what your journey is. So you can't compare yourself to another person's journey. Everything always works out in the end, right? So if you end up being a single mother, I was just talking about that to the tech at the dentist's office this morning. If you're a single mom, it always works out. Like one single mom may have issues with money, and another single mom may have issues with childcare. But it all works out in the end. Everybody needs something differently. And that's what makes this world wonderful, is the differences, the contrast between us. So, the first section here was the snake, the cobra, the lion, and the tiger. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. The collective awakening here with teachers of cobra and lion ready to face the cheetah. Collective wishes for the Six of Cups, the loving children, soulmates or kids, and great fortune and inspiration here. With the cobra, fox of a higher love, leaving the hen house but not telling about them being inspired by unexpected income. The lion leads the wise birds or social group to strike perhaps on behalf of the main female high priestess or blocking her. At 133, which is then the magician and Christ vibration, the Seven of Wands standing up for oneself. The cheetah is pinpointing here where and when to face off with the lion and reap rewards of their funeral or case closed. The soulmates are not telling that they're not working and they're going to retire. So it's again, just like if you were leaving a job, you try to wait as long as possible before telling them, because you don't want all that energy focused on you before you're actually ready to leave. So it's that same kind of energy. If someone wants to retire, they may not tell anyone until they're actually just about to retire. The Page of Wands, with great fortune inspired by unexpected income or unexpected incoming something, whether it's a person, place, or thing, of the main female here, the High Priestess, exposing death and ending dark night or transition, or in her death to reap rewards. So this could be someone, this could even be a child, inspired by the notion that maybe one day, not, and this doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it can be as well. It can be the typical child who thinks, oh, one day, I might inherit some money from my parents and my life will be easier. So, right, that's the most innocent of that. But then you have those others who may be plotting to maybe end their life a little sooner than they were supposed to. So there's both ends of the spectrum there. And this doesn't have to be relatives either. It can just be people who are, thieves or don't have good motives around someone. Maybe just use this could be a marriage too, or one person or both people are using each other for the marriage. So students or soulmates not telling what they're doing, right? Planning something in secret, because maybe it's no one's business until they decide to leave something. Exposing a death or transition in order to reap rewards, where the leader of a group of a disabled female perhaps, and the cheetah on a journey to reap rewards of her death. So this also could be could be a guy thinking about a wealthy woman, or a girl thinking about a wealthy man, and I'd like to marry them. So, and maybe they're older, maybe they'll die soon, so I can inherit all their money. Those kind of things are coming up with Scorpio. The two here, the second section here is the butterfly, the deer, and the worm. The newbies again here, the fragile, innocent, doe-eyed, and the intimidated. The butterfly with the King of Wands, rugrats or pests, and the hermit, man with thoughts of a woman. Dear one, with polarized, pushy mama, and the Page of Pentacles, child, or an opportunity to judicate a union. And that's funny. My friend Judy just came up with judicate, but also the Jew, right? Because Jesus always comes with that. The Page of Pentacles, child, or opportunity to judicate a union. The worm on an adventure, a magic adventure, to look back with concerns of or an old man. Suddenly two men in court, perhaps over the same woman. Then the third section here is the wolf, who's stunned at the swans, the two as one couples, and the loving man. The Page of Cups with a prisoner perhaps, or perhaps they are a prisoner. And the wise, privileged lady, and the official person who's open and free to now leap. The wolf seeing the two swans, and the Page of Cups are innocent, and the privileged lady, and the loving one, the loving man who's officially imprisoned here. And by the way, if I stumble over my words, my lips are still a bit numb from my dental visit. So, all right. So the fourth section here is the beaver and the mouse. The hard worker and the nervous Nelly. The beaver with a breakthrough about their shackles of marriage, and the mouse a power lady present, or with a housewarming gift, perhaps for a visit, or to court a couple. The beaver struggling to get out of a marriage to court and get the power lady to move, perhaps. And again, this is another way of manipulation. Oh, maybe if I bring lots of gifts to people, they'll want me in their lives, right? That can be another thing. And that can be within family, where certain family members expect a gift when you come to their house for dinner, as opposed to just loving them and being family. The fifth section here is the stingray, the dragon, and the scorpion. The boss and his dogs out. The stingray plugged in and activated. The loving lady present with the King of Swords reversed, with bad health perhaps, or perhaps they're dealing in the health industry. The dragon with abundant clearance to sail right on through, with the King of Wands, wealthy man, in transition, and Scorpio with their stinger out on the fool's journey to pick which doors to a major connection, an energetic exchange perhaps within their occupation. I was just getting an occupation as well, as in a territory being occupied. Health, wealth, and happiness, the King of Swords reversed, and the King of Wands partners, loving lady with big shoes to fill, perhaps. The scorpion just waiting for her to show up, right, with their stinger out. But we also have partners here who may not be getting along. Maybe they did for a long time, but they're not anymore. They have different perspectives, with the King of Swords reversed and the King of Wands. And then we have a loving lady who may have big shoes to fill, because maybe she has to replace one of these guys. And then the scorpion just waiting for her to show up, because there's jealousy coming out there, and they may be waiting to sting them. Okay. Woke up, got out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. That came up the other day. It was just coming up again. Let's see here. So the second message of the day was about 9:22 this morning. 9 is the Hermit, 22 is the Fool, the Fool's Journey. the underlying energy was the bat, the ring, the fool reversed, and bad health. So here again, the bat is the first card again. So Batman is coming up as the masculine as well. So the bat here is coming up as lost in the ethers, but comfortable in the dark. And the Knight of Wands, commitment and foolish, expanding bad health. So there's another energy about whatever you put your energy into expands, right? So if you put your focus on bad health as opposed to health care, it's all in your perspective. It can expand whatever you're focusing on. And it was so funny here because the lizard came up and the tech ended up being Liz today. And then the unicorn was coming up. So, and the words were coming up with the raccoon here, with the lizard, the raccoon, the mask, with the mask, and then the unicorn, which came up as a Lyrian here, or Lyrian, the gateholder of the collective consciousness awakening in dark energies of Scorpio, can't escape, except that the lizard is enjoying all of this, of course, because they may not be affected by the dark. Storks nesting, who are looking up, right? This is the dream, the American dream, or a dream come true of that perfect home and family, and the well wishes from dumping buckets of water and emotions with it. The self-love, the new love, and the Knight of Wands commitment. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords here with light that he notices along with their announcements, judgment or wake-up call, to the High Priestess reversed and the Fool reversed, who may be lacking faith or secret passion that's foolish, calling out the need to use your intuition, or intuition for me is the in-twit connection. The twit is the twin towers with you and I in between, the in-twit connection of the twins, and trust oneself here. This is the High Priestess and the Fool, both reversed. So it's like the feminine and the masculine, right? On the Fool's journey, being knocked for a loop. But here, learning to trust oneself, as the King of Cups needs to keep their heart open, and the message of concern to the message of the seal broken, and which is the Chariot, because we've been talking about the Chariot. Yes, it's the vehicle of ascension, but this week it's been coming up as the vehicle of infiltration, to infiltrate, like the bacteria or the virus that gets into the clam or the oyster, or the person who gets into the group or institution in order to clear it out from the inside out. The 7 seals and the 7 trumpeters, and breaking the seal, and I had my old fillings taken out, which is a huge seal. They've been in there for 50 years probably. And the King of Wands journey here of despair to romantic little girl, the moon child, expecting them. The 28 comes up here, which is the twin flames, and the reading of a message to a man in bad health or expanding conflict, health battles, and or healthcare issues. So at 12:09, and that always comes up with Scorpio, healthcare because of death. And there's always healthcare issues regarding death. So at 12:09 is the hanging man and the hermit, or perhaps hanging out and hermiting within. And interesting too, we were talking about at the dentist office today, someone with a hole in their heart, but I was referencing to my childhood, because when I went to visit my grandfather in the hospital when I was 8, when he was dying, there was a girl with a hole in her heart in the waiting room. And you can imagine an 8-year-old isn't going to be able to understand that when someone tells them that she has a hole in her heart. Well, how is she sitting across from me if she's got a hole in her heart? So that came full circle today as I met someone who actually just had surgery for that. So that was very interesting. And also talking about James Bond movies, Live and Let Die, the music was on in the dentist office. 007's been coming up for the past 2 weeks in my readings. And talking about some of the music, and my dentist talking about him watching movies and little girl movies with his daughter and that kind of stuff, and liking doing that, which is a nice trait to hear, right? Because most masculines don't talk about spending time watching like The Princess and the Pea with their daughter. So again, there's this energy that's coming up in this section of this read of batting 1,000, right? Even if you have starting out from a child issues, right? There's something wrong with your body or something that needs to be fixed. batting 1,000 here. And then also the single mom energy of just leaving a relationship but happy with themselves. And the unicorn versus the bat or Batman, who can do all of this in the dark, right, with their eyes closed, like doing the same job every day. I could do this with my eyes closed. But also the teacher and student being both and working together with each other, both being the teachers and both being the students, even the patients being the teachers as well. And again, the live and let die song is not only just James Bond, but it's also the phrase to live and let die. If someone needs to die, we'll let them die. It's not up to you. If they choose to die, like, who are you to change their decision, right? So that could be coming up too. There may be children who are fighting their parents because of religious issues, one wanting to die or one wanting to live, and the other one not agreeing with them. Maybe they have a power of attorney over them, right, for their health care. But the parent had already made a decision and then having problems with that legally. That could be coming up. But I was also getting the energy of the bat flying above the earth, being floaty, like floating on air. Just kind of being wispy, like the masculine learning how to be in his feminine and just being kind of like just going with the flow and not worrying about anything. And then the first section of cards here was the snake, the scorpion, the crocodile, and the spider web. The collective consciousness awakening here. And again, the large scale of this read was also paralleling my dentist visit, right? So the protecting of my teeth first in order to, right, sealing out my mouth so that I don't get my fillings in my body. But the energy of that was coming up, mimicking, like it's like me and mini-me. The collective message here, and then my dentist appointment. So being very aware of all of these energies and how they play out. So, again, making sure you treat yourself well by getting people who know how to do what they do very well, especially if you're dealing with your body. And then crocodile smiles were coming up, open wide and getting numb, cutting off their nose to spite their face, right? You can't feel your lips or your nose because you're numb. And focusing on, coughing something back up, and focusing on getting the black out, which is why I just started coughing. But the black is not only the fillings that they were replacing, but I use coal as well, so there could be black there. And not knowing which black is good or which is bad. And then the spider being cleared from the web, or in other words, getting to the root of the issue, or the root of the tooth, depending on your situation. The splattering of dark energies here all around the world, but also within my mouth. And then using colorful light, or the collective consciousness, the rainbow light, to seal it in, right? Because they use light to seal in the fillings. The sun is heating up, exposing all, a group effort, with conflict and or the pursuit of happiness, or a pretty smile, self-love, spiritual love, and new love, and the eye on the Holy Grail, with the Queen of Cups, who's loving, kind, and intuitive, the 38, and then also a hard worker at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1234, shut the door. The collective awakening here, and then ditto. So that came up the other day as well. So whatever you put out comes right back to you in this reflective energy that we're in now. And once you're out of karma, it's not that the balance disappears, it's just automatic, as opposed to long withdrawn, situation where you do something and then that comes back to you in another way. This is instant karma. At 1234, and then the number 31 comes up on the sun card. That as I looked at the sun card, that number 31, it just flipped, like a card would flip, or like a digital clock flips to the next time. The 31 flipped to 31 again, but it was so weird to see that. Like it just flipped, like it was GroundHog's Day. We're going through the 31st again, which was yesterday, which was Halloween, and GroundHog's Day. It's like the 31st was the end of something, so now you'll always have instant karma, right? So there's new love here for the Queen of Cups, or a lot of self-love here. And then the Scorpion trigger, and again, Queen of Cups could be Scorpion energy, because we're in Scorpio. The Scorpion trigger to come together by getting through the maze of layers and confusion, perhaps the question mark, the unknown, about the lover's reversed or lack of affection or a breakup, and regarding the main female high priestess or the secret keeper or a secret or their own psychic abilities or your psychic abilities. Or Scorpio is wondering perhaps if she's single. Crocodile smiles and teeth showing, numb with mask, that numbness is a type of mask. The innocence or the no sense of masking, that it's not what it seems, with multiple faces of vulnerability, with the devil on fire, with the wise privileged lady, the spider in the web, with lovers having a breakthrough, removing the dark or clouds or veil to see the dark pieces clearing one by one. In need of peace, hermiting for change, exposing the labyrinth to 0 point, through the fun house of innocent play for lovers to see the light of day. The new love, the Holy Grail, in need of lovers' affection, the devil's on fire, perhaps after Texas red-eye, or Hold'em, or bent horns, or the steakhouse is coming up too. Was it Texas Roadhouse? The masked man, the heroes, Batman and all, without peace as the man of disguises, and their eyes wide shut, realizing the sticky web we weave to break through with no peaceful place to go, with the privileged lady hanging out with them, and no place to go but to the hermit, or go within and do the changes from within. No new car or new home can do that at 1247, which is the hanging man and the synchronicities, the choices, the heaven in your eyes. Only you can do that for yourself. So the buffalo is the second section, the vulture and the cheetah. It's like the peanut gallery here again. 1251 is the hanging man and the king of swords. The buffalo is super grounded and heavenly too, with cleanup crew or an old bird, with cheetah makes the 3 of the motley crew, the peanut gallery, all watching section 1, or the World Wide Web, or perhaps world wars, and the cheetah perched ready to pounce. The buffalo power lady is talking to the vulture loving lady about presents and or gifts, of the ship sailing right over the mountain, of abundance, nature, empress cruising right through at 12:59, right, the 11th hour right before 1 o'clock. The QE2 then came up, perhaps the quantum energy of the high priestess, the grounder or the check-in person, the cleanup crew who communicates with them, and the cheetah who then sails on through, waiting, perched, ready to pounce. The buffalo lady is keeping their cards close to their chest, or perhaps they have an issue with their chest or a hole in their heart and they need to protect themselves, perhaps about a wealthy man in transition. The vulture-loving lady is cleaning up with the hermit, or this can be a professional or a wise man, in energetic exchange as an occupation, sewing pieces together, or the go-between. The cheetah clearing with the peacock or birds, or perhaps a peacock who's into pink flowers, and then before pouncing, checking in first, before being the main male magician, both being the student and the teacher. The wise, loving lady who's coming up as the hermit or Virgo energy, could be as well, amidst the one holding on or collecting money for the wealthy man. And then the Page of Pentacles, who's the student energy, or someone starting something new or a new job, maybe consulting with the bird. The wealthy man in transition in energetic exchange at work or occupation with the main male magician, or going back and forth between their two personas, person as, or the loving lady now with 2 options at 111, the magician and justice. Perhaps they can choose between the magician and the justice now. Or if I won't let go of a partner, but if one won't let go of a partner for money, then there is another who's always willing and able and perfectly magical without the issues. At 113, the magician and the transition. The third section here is the cobra, the phoenix, and the hummingbird. Super focused teachers rising from the ashes with light and clearing in high vibration. California dreaming here was coming up as Cali dreaming, which can be Cali. And then cobra on the fool's journey with doors and light to open, to break away from the old marriage, the old religion, establishment, society, or teachers. With the Queen of Wands, 24, who's been coming up as a thief all week. Or hyper-vigilant or vigilante. Here we are with the mob and the Scorpio energies, with a choice of paths of open heart or foolishness. So this is coming up as the choices of paths we can take. Do you want to go on the wounded warrior's journey or the fool's journey? And there's something else that'll be coming up as well. The phoenix is coming up as the lucky strike and rising again, but perhaps it's not time yet to come together for marriage. Or phoenix with lucky high priestess, when the time is right and found the one. Or blessing in disguise, that marriage or religion didn't work out, and the hummingbird is clearing now for a higher love, as the fox leaves the hen house after the bird whispered sweet nothings to the phoenix while the cobra was listening. And then I was getting Power 99, which is a radio station in my area. But also Agent 99 is coming up here again. And again, we're talking about James Bond, so the spy who loved me and all of that kind of spy energy. So the Emperor reversed, inspired by unexpected income. And the Hierophant is reversed with the Emperor reversed. Maybe they're not destined to marry, a marriage of convenience or sex. Or the super rich or the super greedy who draw in the schmoozer or the thief, a negative marriage of polarity. Or one divorces a thief and another is stepping down from their career, needing to clear and teach before it's time for the one and the marriage. At 128 is the magician and the twins, the two of flames, or the choice of path. Or the marriage here is a mother and a daughter team. It can be two women, but also could be a mother and daughter team hooking up with the rich guy that's all about the money. So again, extreme polarities and why you draw in what you drew in. At 128, again, the magician and the twins. The magician embodiment of the twins. The cobra gets in, the phoenix transforms, and by the time the hummingbird realizes, it would be too late anyway. But as luck would have it, the cobra may find an even juicier find, releasing them from their obligations, a nice payoff. So it's saying, like, even if like a woman trapped a man into a marriage and he thinks he can never get out, like he's bound, there's whatever's going on in their life or their contracts or connections or even the mob, right? You can't get out of the family because of the mob. Whatever it is, it's like all of a sudden the one he can't get away from finds a guy she deems even better than him, so she leaves. It's the same energy of saying, like, if you have a next door neighbor who's not nice or you don't like them there, instead of wishing them bad things, wish them a nicer house in a better neighborhood so that they leave in a positive way. So that was coming up. So the fourth section here is the black egg, the deer, and the fox. The truth, the deer one, and the fox, covering their eyes. It's all in the eyes. The truth of the romantic pup who has kind eyes, it's all in their eyes. Are they kind eyes or are you not sure? And why would you want someone with eyes that you're not sure about? So the truth of the romantic pup finding their way home, only to find that the boy now has left. The King of Cups with all of his tools, recovering from exile, injury, or illness, or let back in, only to find that that wasn't their home, that his heart was elsewhere. The King of Cups and unconditional love. Dear one, the Knight of Cups is taking a chance, a roll of the die, and that can reference Princess die as well, to move or visit with an official person on the fool's journey. The fox taking a peek, finally opening their eyes, in grounding, integrating, and mastering, or GIM, or the gym, and seeing closely what was missed before, the details, the bacteria or virus that got into that oyster or clam, and the King of Swords reversed on the wounded warrior's path, or took the wrong turn at the why me in the road so many years ago, missing the fool's journey, when the King of Cups was just a boy alone and perhaps didn't know any better, perhaps raised by an official with kind eyes and a sly fox who was verbally abusive or silent and wounded. The whale here is exhausted, watching in a lot of dark energy, emotionally, with the key to their freedom through martyrdom. The hanging man unable to escape imprisonment, only to find their gifts of the older generation. So there was a reference right there to Jesus, but also the older generations of our grandparents, where they were expected to martyr themselves for their family. 4 generations of men here. The martyrdom of the Jesus-type energy, the martyr, the world wars, and then the sly abuser on the wounded warrior, or the victim's journey. And then the kind official on the fool's journey. But then comes the current children, our kids, of pure unconditional love. So not only going from the wounded warrior's journey to the fool's journey, but graduating even further into the King of Cups of the unconditional love journey, of the innocent and always speaking their truth. So our babies, taking the kind eyes of the fool's journey to a whole new level, that all circumstances must lead to authenticity. That way, the poor one is never out in the cold or impoverished at 1:49 when my Nat showed up again. So Nat King Cole came up again. The heart at home will never lead you astray. Unforgettable. That's what you are. Unforgettable. Though near or far. So you get the idea. The 5th section here is the sudden dreams of home, the wise social community, and the abundance in energetic exchange of stars and galactic travel, and suddenly uncomfortable feelings about the big house, the judgment, the decisions, the wake-up call, the house of stability and structure, and the emperor of control, and a lot of responsibilities that go with it, and also where fireworks go off. The weight in the world and multiple stingers, the performance under pressure of others watching, of the Hierophant mature man, the wise birds sparring in the pursuit of the dream, the inspiration of great fortune at 155, the magician and the truth of Excalibur and Arthur, and then the abundant fish in energetic exchange, or the Queen of Wands and the Empress, and what that means. To be inspired and uncomfortable, both at the same time. Because to be inspired is uncomfortable because you're going into the unknown. The homework of he and the community play of great fortune, the abundant fish in the sea, of the energetic exchange for the she's, the Queen of Wands and the mature woman, or her mother. The moth drawn to the flame suddenly is uncomfortable with a big house and stardom, right? If you're drawn to the flame, you're drawn to the star. And so now you all of a sudden have to get used to a big house and stardom. The beaver here is a humble hard worker with a humble home and committed to maturity, whereas the turtle here is slow to gather with a group of friends to play or sports or go out. It takes them a while to warm up to people, to be inspired to great fortune. The starfish is very still in the sea, while there's many fish faster going back and forth and never stop. The sexy starlet, the loving mature woman, and although the parents here have a big house and great fortune, their inspiration was their children, playing and socializing, not a need to prove your worth by non-stop movement for no particular reason at 2:07, right? So don't we always justify our time spent by movement? 2:07 is the High Priestess in the Chariot. Again, the psychic abilities and gifts that allow you to be the vehicle of infiltration, to get in as the spy, right? The quiet one. Right? The double agent kind of thing. So you don't need to prove your worth by nonstop movement. So let's go down to the union read, which is a physical union read for the 3D, 4D, 5D. It's 733, and I have been doing it for 4, 5, 6D for a long time. 6D is the area of manifestation trickling down to the 4, which most of you are in 4D most of the time, but we're still living in 3D energies. So I wanted to give you a picture of the 3D right now because I was guided to do that. So I'll go back to 4, 5, 6D when I'm guided to do so. So it's 733, which is the Chariot and the Christ vibration, that 7 of Wands of standing up for yourself without getting defensive, being able to be the observer without getting triggered, knowing that we're responsible for all of our good feelings, but also our negative feelings as well. So we have the 6 of Cups in the underlying energy, the solar deity or the sun in the middle, and the Queen of Pentacles at the end. The inner children loving each other, exposing all to the Queen of Pentacles, who may be refusing to listen. So there may be some stubbornness coming up in this Queen of Pentacles who's coming up on the masculine side. The incoming Divine Feminine is the King of Wands, Shaman, Justice, and then the High Priestess, or the Higher Self. The Man of Passion, the Master of I Am That I Am. The Divine Jew, the Higher Self, the Jesus energy, and the Blind Justice of that Higher Self. The 3D here is the 5 of Cups, Reflection, and the Ace of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine grieving loss, unable to see the 2 of Cups right in front of her. The Divine Masculine groundbreaking plant, offering a new life and bridging with the Hermit with light reflecting right back at them. The 4D here is the Star, the solar deity or the Sun, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine rock star with dreams. The Divine Masculine Knight of Pentacles, humble loyal servant, proposal. Bridging in the Sun, fully exposed or authentic. The 5D here is the the 6 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, and the Karma. The Divine Feminine with the 6 of Pentacles, sharing, perhaps settling out, and the Divine Masculine, judgmental, bridging with waves of flames in the human sun or in hot pursuit. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the 3 of Pentacles. Perhaps children at work or just lots of messages to deal with. The Page of Swords with light, the Page of Wands with flame, and fire worshiper. And Sekhmet here, pretending to be a boy to get their mother to worship them too at work. So if someone's in a marriage where they see the mother worshiping the father and letting him walk all over her or use her, this is like a daughter pretending to be a masculine energy so she can get the mother to worship her as well and get her to do anything she wants. Hot and cold at Trinity, try, nigh, tie, try a show of power and gratitude with the Queen of Pentacles with a stiff upper lip. And that's so funny because I have a numb lip today. So the inner children here and the King of Wands, the Divine Masculine with the outer children and the King of Pentacles and the workplace. The Divine Feminine perhaps crying over a galactic connection that's unfair, and the Divine Masculine with a new life breakthrough with the Knight of Pentacles proposing to help the crown or crowning decision or the crown open. The bridge here being reflection of the Hermit and the Sun, which is the within and the without. The Pegasus or Peg as us or US, leaping to the group in hot pursuit. They know he can't resist a new challenge. So this can also be a group trying to keep the masculine by offering them whatever they want, worshiping them to get them to stay. And of course then they take advantage of this because everyone's giving them whatever they want, right? Treating them like a king, even though the king in the traditional sense abuses people because they see people as lower than them. So we have the 825 of the 8 of the dance and the 25 of the Knight of Wands. The Divine Feminine with Libra, Pisces, and Aquarius, and the King of Wands. The Divine Masculine with Aquarius on their side, along with the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. And between the Masculine and Feminine here is Virgo, Leo, or Sag, and the group. The seeker of I am that I am and co-creation, where the overall number for this read was 26 of the Page of Wands, which is inspiration, unless they're uninspired. And the horizontals came out to 17, which is the star, 0 of source or space, and then 9 of the hermit. The verticals came out to 6 of the lovers, double 0, 11 of justice, 5 of the hierophant, 1 of the magician, double zeros, and then 3 of the empress. The star and the hermit was spaced between in order to inspire. The lovers was a lot of space for truth and balance, with the commitment and magic, and space for the empress and the page of wands, perhaps, or lovers 0011, which can, like I said, double agents were coming up here as spies. The lovers being 0011 instead of 7, which is justice, truth, and balance. So not spying for bad purposes or to manipulate, but spying in order to change things from within, be the victim within, to flip the switch, to pull the polarities in. The lovers 0011, justice, with the king of swords, 00 empress, excited here. And that could be abundance as well. So 0011 as opposed to 7, then 00 of the empress, which also can be abundance. And excited about that. So then we have the read in front of you here. Oh, I'm going to turn the light bulb on. I thought the light was off. Okay. So this is the twin flame read, and this was cut and dealt at 8:44 last night. And 44 is written that way, 44/8. The 8 of the dance, the 44 of the 4 of cups, grounding, integrating, and mastering, especially of receiving love. It can be boredom and apathy as well, or one's feeling sorry for themselves, or trying to ground under a tree, but feeling sad usually, or perhaps tempted by the Holy Grail. And then at 8:50, Alice's came up again. So Alice's came up as one of the machines regarding the, what are they called again? The big machines underground that the governments are using to test things. Whatever they're called. Anyway, one of the big pieces of equipment down there, and this was between Switzerland and Italy or France. I forget which it was. But anyway, Alice is coming up here. I was just also getting all Isis as well. So can be Isis, as in Isis, the deity, but also Isis as in Isis someone and colds them, but again in the mob language that could be killing someone. And we have Al or all Isis at 8:50, which is the dance of manifestation of your dreams, and the 50 of achieving those dreams, the 10 of cups. So I finished clarifying at 9:06, which is the hermit and the lovers, the going within of the lovers. And the major arcana that came up for this read was indigo, guidance, and transition. The indigo is the magician, guidance is the hierophant, and transition is the death card. And after the read, the tower came up. So let me roll the dice here before I start this read. For the twin flames today, November 1st, we're in a new month. We have Cancer or home and family energies here. We have the number 9, the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness. This can be the hermit, endings, completion. It's all about compassion. And then we have Jupiter here too, which is expanding whatever it touches. I don't know if Jupiter's retrograde. I know there was a bunch of switches recently, or are still going on. I'm not sure, but we have Jupiter, which is also Sagittarius, which is still in the South Node being released, along with the Cancer energies of home and family, and the 9 of the Hermit and Virgo going within. And these are all on this card, which is trust. Trust. It's also getting 9 and 4. 94 and 49. 49 is the Get Your Wish card. And then the reflection of that. But I was also told at the beginning of this journey, I don't know, somebody was doing my astrology or something. Somebody told me that 4 and 9 and 14 were lucky numbers. And that is Fort Myers, Florida. I have no idea what it is. So Florida's coming up. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, Fort Myers, that may be significant for you in some way. Florida coming up. those numbers 9, 4, and 14. And then the 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which is that offer of a new life of perfect contentment. So, home and family, expansion with Sagittarius being released, and then going within. So it's really, I'm getting cuddling up by the fire type of energy. I don't know if there's a cold front headed our way, but making, kind of forcing us all to go within more because it gets cold out. So you want to be inside. You don't want to expand. You want to kind of cuddle. So let's see. We have 3 pentacles, 2 wands, 1 sword, 2 cups. And the court cards that came up was the 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. Before the read is the King of Cups and the Page of Swords. And after the read, 3 knights, the Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. And then 3 nights from today would be the night of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd going into the 4th. So 3 nights from now would be the 4th, which is the new moon eclipse. Very significant day. It's coming up today. Okay, so that day is significant. As far as numbers here, we have double 7s are the most significant. We also have double 2s of the Fool's Journey. 77 is the Sovereign, the 9 of Pentacles. We also have 11 of Justice, 23 of the King of Wands, 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, 27 of the Ace of Wands, 36 of the 10 of Wands, the Atlas energy, and then the 9 of the Hermit is significant. And then in a lesser sense, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles and 89 of the Phi energy, expansion and contraction, or staying in the middle, reflecting. The code line here is all about the number 6, which is the lovers, but also love, family, and community, and the month of June, which is Gemini to Cancer. And then we have intuition, rebirth, and healing. And they were broken up into intuition, so some of you may be dealing with tuition issues. And then R was separated from rebirth in e-birth, so somebody might have an energetic birth or an actual birth, perhaps of a child whose name begins with an E, or someone who's very active. And then we have healing was broken into he and ailing or alling, and Al came up in Alice's. So he could be dealing with Al, because Al ices, right? And that could be a hitman, right? That came up with the mob and the Irishman. So the messages here were coming up as twin miss. So instead of Christmas, twin miss, or a mass of twins, the twin miss bridge, perhaps in an essay or test, an essay like a lab test, but also an essay like a writing, a piece of work, or saying twin miss bridge, and sacking the high road instead, right? So taking a different road than the high road, taking the twin miss bridge, and perhaps an essay on why. With the lovers, Sophia 9, the high vibration of the feminine collective consciousness, and the eclipse comes up here, which I didn't realize I wrote this down, with the new moon coming up on the 4th, in transition and seeing the key of the sap of the life essence. And then northeast was coming up, and again, that could be a nor'easter type of thing, where there's a gust of snow coming in, regarding intuition, rebirth, and healing. The total weight, or the total war, and the mass siege may be satisfying for some. The high road of the lovers at the new moon, transitioning to see the key of being 70, which is the chariot and also the feminine within the masculine. Being 70. I don't know if that's a word too, 70. So if that comes up, put that in the comments. And then 918 came up. I wrote it down because it's my birthday, which is the hermit and the moon, which have been coming up a lot lately. And the next translation came up as Doubting Thomas, who also came up this week before today. Doubting Thomas came up here as the twin miss, that I am that I am, is to have or to own or ownership, to have content, to be satisfied by the high road with lover's new moon eclipse, seeing the keys in Eve, as in Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving Eve or New Year's Eve. See the key in the moment before, the 11th hour. See the keys in the Eve or even the E of the feminine, the energy, the Elohim, the expansion, intuition, and our E birth. See the keys of Eve of Jesus, or Christmas Eve, and the E in the twit connection of E's birth, and he ailing, or alling, or alling. The twin Miss Bridge equals Christmas Eve, or the night before Christmas, right? And then we have the nightmare before Christmas as well. And then Eve is going to reference Adam and Eve as well. So then this word came up in the header as I put some of the letters together, and it was Messiera, without the Ra, is M-A-S-E-I, which was coming up, but without the R-A, but that was the only word that came up. So the definition came up as needing trough, or the manger, like Jesus in the manger, but without Ra, without God. So it's like that definition was coming up as like Jesus being in the manger, but without a reference to God. The twin manger without Ra, right? Because you are your own connection to higher self. The twin manger without Ra, where God says, and that was coming up as GSA, God says, sack the high road, lover's new moon transition, and seeing the key life force of the sap, of any, it doesn't really matter which. In twin E hour, or perhaps that's the moment before, the you and I connection, our E birth, our energetic birth, where he is ailing, alling, or all-ing, or all in, I was just getting. So we had, in this read, it starts out with the indigo reversed, and below it, they're all reversed. The Two of Cups, King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Ace of Wands, all reversed below the indigo reversed. And in this read, all four aces were reversed. The Two of Cups was reversed. The Lovers were reversed. So pay attention to the message. The disconnect, remember, if they're reversed, it doesn't mean they're not there. It means it's not time to push forward today. And there could be a breakup as well with the Two of Cups and the Lovers reversed. So, disconnect or at a distance. With the King of Cups reversed, not working out, with the Page of Swords reversed, who may be frustrated, a frustrated manipulator, lying in a split, divide, or dealing with BS and needing the truth, letting go to pursue. The Hierophant or marriage with the Queen of Wands reversed, now being null and void. Moving, visit, the party's over, with the Ten of Cups upright, satisfied, and the Knight of Pentacles offering them help as the gate opens to the present moment, the gifts of the High Priestess upright, the secret psychic abilities, and the gates wide open here to a landmine just waiting to explode, presently cozying up under the covers with abilities and their knowing, which then parallels to what I just got in the header. So that's confirming that for you. So it sounds like there's a nor'easter type thing coming up, a lot of heavy cold energy that causes people to cozy up. But again, it's saying that the gates are opening at this eclipse on the 4th to the present moment, and we just also got the energy of karma being done, right? So there is no karma, but because it comes right back at you. So there's that ditto energy. If you say it or do it, it comes right back. At 9:49, the Hermit and the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card. Be careful what you wish for is what they're saying there. And then 9:51, which is the Hermit and the King of Swords, with Gemini or Virgo reversed and Taurus and Pisces upright here, overwhelmed, dumping a load, or purging in a breakup or sweating it out. Destined to school the golden goose, the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and the bridge to the Magician reversed, insecure without tools to manifest. The Sphinx teacher and the dogs sucking up to the old man, the kids hitting the books with dreams of heaven on earth, but unsure they can manifest. But I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. The Hermit's reversed, regarding the little engine that could. Perhaps they're going nuts or coming out about missing flame in the energetic exchange with the Seven of Cups upright synchronicities and fantasy of being tackled by the beast or the boar under big palms and feet, living together but distant, and or at a distance but close, and no truth in bed between them either way, where they're being forced to drink the water, and the turtle is slow to romance with one and fantasizing about another. Physical activity comes up here with 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant, and self-love is below that with the 61 of the need to take a risk, to love yourself first. The worst is over, but the bliss is here of secret passion in 5D connection, of a sister or suffering in silence, trying to end the nightmare. The Magician manifesting big time, overworking or not working out with the Queen of Swords reversed. His purple hose here are coming up as matching her dress. And the Queen of Swords reversed, Indigo, Gemini, or Virgo. And that's come up multiple times. There must be a couple out there, whether it's the masculine and his partner or a twin flame couple, that have to match everything. And I'm sure there's a bunch of them. But again, it's coming up as his purple hose, right? So maybe if you're on your feet all day and you're wearing support hose, are matching her dress. Or maybe he just likes wearing purple hose to match her purple dress. And that could be kind of like a page type of outfit where they wear stockings as opposed to pants. So the Queen of Swords reversed, Indigo, Gemini, or Virgo. And the Magician here may be stalking to see where her money is falling. The Queen of Swords reversed, Indigo, Gemini, or Virgo, and the High Priestess unable to manifest with liar, cheat, or thief, or insecure about manifesting. And physical activity here with the Knight of Pentacles. The underlying energy is detoxing the warpath. As we go forward after this read is the energy of the world upside down or nearing a close, healing and forgiving being left behind and injured after sudden events and in need of peace, with the King of Cups reversed and the Empress upright, and a shamed runner between her and the Emperor, or the Empress forcing the King of Cups reversed to go confess his sins to the Emperor, or stealing from the Empress to give to the Emperor here. The recent past here is the Six of Pentacles, sharing gifts of synchronicities and using them on their issues at work, with lower back pain perhaps, or betrayal, or a pain in the ass. An energetic exchange with the wounded warrior defending or guarding the Queen of Cups reversed, in secret sex with the King of Swords reversed, behind closed doors, and the Queen of Cups reversed, receiving good news from the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or the world at large, or that could be a legacy as well. Awakening and letting go, willing to pay for gifts or gift. The foundation being the Two of Pentacles, a whistleblower of high vibration, emotionally fulfilled and starting over, with the Hermit reversed, going crazy, perhaps over isolating, or now coming out, and the Page of Swords reversed, lashing out to make the crazy one go away. And the central energy is the guidance upright of justice and the divine feminine in 5D, perhaps depressed or arrogant, with the High Priestess or religious woman dissatisfied with themselves, with new information that knocked them off their balance. The challenge being the transition portal, and walking away, which is coming up with this new moon, is walking away from the negative talk or rumors. Moving at night by car, or visit to Cancer ascending, the vehicle of infiltration. The Page of Pentacles leaving the Page of Pentacles is learning here from the devil himself, tempted by the ball and chain, and the Knight of Wands out of the gate too early, choosing the wrong path, or going backwards, or just out of the gate too early, and the King of Wands reversed, Saggy without affection, and jealous of someone else starting over, or now getting off the fence, with the King of Swords reversed, finally talked or gave it up after perhaps a long bout of silence and not giving it up. At 1028, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 28 of the twins are a choice of path. Losing patience or fallen angel rushing back to save the day, the perpetrator who causes the wound, and then who becomes the savior to save them from their sorrow, keeping them dependent on them. This can be someone with a partner or their children or anyone. Defensive Page of Wands reversed and the King of Wands reversed are dissatisfied with the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands is standing up for the Page of Wands and the King of Wands are both reversed, who are unhappy with the Queen of Pentacles, who's unable to conceive or conceive of as destined. But if someone can't conceive, it's coming up as destined here. Or destined sexual predator and or frustration here in lack of arousal. And now here's the wounded warrior on their last leg, juggling and sharing with the needy perhaps to find a way out and implement a plan in a losing battle with the Queen of Swords reversed, who's playing hardball with a spoiled child, or a child throwing hardballs, or the wounded warrior withholding from the Page of Cups reversed, or rejects them and their offers. The Page of Pentacles is upright, hurting themselves by having cheap sex in a chair with the one who doesn't love her, a child perhaps who learned a lie from their parents' relationship. The liar, cheater, thief running away from an announcement, judgment, or wake-up call, lashing out but in need of peace. At night, healing after a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, the fallen angel in the walk of shame, the King of Pentacles reversed, in a void dance of breaking up and walking away, reaping rewards of disconnect and or distance with no sex, and the Knight of Pentacles offering help to the King of Cups reversed with conditions, and imprisoned by the Queen of Swords reversed, and or vice versa, or the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords both reversed have a hostage between them. And soon as at 1042, the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups, soon as the Page of Pentacles here, curious about the Sovereign, and the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups who's reversed and maybe jealous, or perhaps the Queen of Pentacles rejected here, perhaps about overworking or losing patience, getting over a loss and regret with third party or social distancing, or imprisoned Knight of Swords reversed, slave drivers with slave labor, and Atlas with the weight and the world, and the twin flames with Queen of Swords reversed, defensive about good news coming in, and standing up to the crowd, suffering in silence or dealing with sister in a death or a pain in the ass, or a head up a horse's butt, or Scorpio's butt, or Dark Knight's butt, and the Emperor embarrassing themselves, or fell in front of awakened Leo, child or pet, or egotistical leader taming the beast, or a pushy child, or pushing the child too hard, and then being pacified by the mother. So that could be like good cop, bad cop with parents, where the father is a strict disciplinarian, and then the mother has to save them from their father. And that can go both ways. The religious factors come up here, which can be any kind of major differences between people, social status, age, religion, whatever. And then attraction, playfulness, and trust. So have faith was coming up for the twins. Around them or how they're seen is the Three of Cups reversed, which can be bad influences or a third party, can be overindulgers, social distancing, or just refusing to get together with someone. The Six of Cups, soulmates or children or twins, with the King of Wands reversed, refusing to see them, and the Empress upright post-war, and PTSD between them, perhaps a father turning his back on his children, right? I don't know you anymore because you're not following what I believe in, right? The block here being the Seven of Wands, that's that Christ vibration of the Seven of Wands, standing up for oneself and rising to tango. If you work hard, then you deserve a break, is what you're telling yourself here. Or Atlas is between the third party and the 5D connection. Intuition and rebirth. Healing, but even more so here is music and abundance. There's frustration or no growth, or issues with creativity or blocks with creativity or sex. Destined with X, expecting all the attention. So the destiny is that the X expects to get the attention. Taking steps with conditions at 1122, Justice and the Fool's Journey, or the Fool, or that can be Libra and Aries on the same axis there. And then 1123 of Justice and the King of Wands and the Stairway to Heaven for the Page of Wands reversed with new information and clarity, but off balance about it, with the Knight of Wands defending them or sticking up for them, and the King of Wands reversed dissatisfied with the Queen of Pentacles here. And here's where the Irishman came up. And 11 p.m. came up here as well. The Knight of Pentacles is helping the King of Cups reverse, or has conditions for hostage of the Queen of Swords reversed, taking steps to the Knight of Swords reversed, who may be lying after a sudden event, with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands upright, where kids may be exposing all. The Knight of Swords reversed is divided or avoiding disaster with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands upright. Sunshine, kids, vacation, and exposure here. And the Indigo reversed perhaps dropped the ball with the Queen of Swords reversed, third party, sharing about their marriage or guidance or Taurus. And the challenge being the transition portal, the death or ending, and the Page of Pentacles, who's curious about that cell block tango, with the Wounded Warrior going upstairs holding their tongue, lying, avoiding issues, with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands upright. Aquarius, Scorpio, and Sag here, and a disconnected King of Cups reversed, overworked, the Page of Swords reversed, frustrated and insecure, sharing or settling out with the Queen of Swords reversed, juggling and surrendering to all that is, with guidance, commitment in marriage, religion, or Taurus, challenged by transition portal, with the Wounded Warrior, and the Queen of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, she reversed, and the Page of Pentacles upright, or perhaps that's her opportunity, but not coming together, rising above, and just instead going upstairs as to not fight. We have Gemini or Virgo reversed, and Taurus and Scorpio upright here. The King of Pentacles reversed here may have been left out of the loop here, without affection or no love loss here, as the Knight of Pentacles helps the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, who may have a hostage, or their hands are tied. Or this could also be their child with failure to launch at 11:52, which is Justice and the Queen of Swords. So there's your read for you. Let's pull some some oracles real quick. It's already 1:16, so I'm not going to do too much. It's 4:27 on my clock, which is the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. So new inspiration, and we got the Magician, the Tower here. All right, so from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook, what is the message here? That came right up, the Golden Egg, which is beautiful. This is the heart chakra. And there's the Dolphin of Lemuria, and lots of compassion and friendliness, happiness. That's like a happy heart. Look at that. And it can't get any better. Look how beautiful that is for you. That's the Deer one. It's all in the eyes. Look at the eyes and the heart. Can you see their heart through their eyes and their smile? That's how you can tell. And why would you settle for anything else? I was just getting, look, doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. See, look, gold. Go. Doe, a deer. Go and do, dear. Gold doll. The gold doll, dear, is to go and do, dear. So golden, you don't have to do anything. You can be still and be doing something, right? Because you're meditating or whatever it is. And it's not a goal to just do things. But if you are not happy staying at home because you're waiting for someone else to change your life, that's where the issue is, and you need to get up and do something to change the energy, to flip it, to give you inspiration, to make you happy, to put that spark back in your eye, the innocence and love in the eye that will connect others to your heart. The smile and the eyes. Again, beautiful energy there. That's such sweet, innocent, friendly, heartfelt energy. And the bottom of the deck is that panther who's ready to bite. And the hawk who's been clearing. But this panther's still getting through. And that can be an infiltrator. He may be one of you, and you don't even know it. All right, let's see what the journey of love has for you. But again, this is coming up because it's all in the eyes, right? And if there's no expression on their face, are those the eyes that you want to look into? Do they make you feel good? So that's the point. All right, the journey of love. I am going to try to get some of the astrological signs done today too. I don't know how much I'll be able to survive doing, but I will at least do 1 or 2 before the night's over. So here we go. All right, so these 4 of them are coming up. Is it 3 or 4? 3. Okay, drop into your heart. 68 is the Page of Pentacles. So again, accentuating being in your heart, the high heart and the low heart, right? The physical and the etheric hearts. And put the power there. And there's that same, look, duplicate energy of like the 4 moons, the 4 hearts of distant shores. The 18 can be the subconscious energies, right? So this is the conscious energy of the heart and the high heart, and then the subconscious energies of the heart and the high heart, the distant shores of romance. And then we have the ethereal touch of the Ace of Wands here, 27. So keep it light as a feather. Okay, so we have the new moon coming up. Drop into your heart as the Page of Pentacles for something new, a new manifestation, or being that really good student. Student, dear one, drop into your heart for distant shores of romance, right? This is very third eye and heart energy, combining them together of the subconscious energies to allow them to bubble up for a little bit of romance, to keep it light with the Page of Wands, which is new passion. Okay, so that new moon is coming up around that energy. And then this finished off kind of yesterday or the day before. It's coming up again. And there's the shift, right? So you're in this energy until the next shift. And this can be musical notes or signs and symbols, the shifting universe of the 7 of the Chariot, the Chariot of ascension, the feminine within the masculine, ascending, and or the infiltration into something new. To flip the victim switch from within the group, from within anything, from within yourself. And then we have the bottom of the deck here. I'm going to show you, there's 2 more cards that want to be seen, but we have the Mother Prays. So again, here's the praying mantis. The mother who bites your head off. The 15 at the shadow side. But you see she's still in high vibration energy. She's in the upper chakra energies, and yet she's showing the shadow side of that, right? Being too kind, being too doting. That can be as well, right? Praying that God saves you when there's nothing for you to save, right? You're good. The blood dance is the 42 of the 2 of Cups, and the relationships, right, between mothers and children. And then these 2 also wanted to be seen after the shifting universe. So after the shift, then you have the communal dance, and there's the egg of communities coming together to celebrate the purity of innocence of the egg, of the child, and the etheric realms, the 5 of the Hierophant, freedom, change, and expansion to galactic friends as well. And then going into the void together, right? Where all is well, and it's total peaceful silence, everywhere. Not just peace on earth, but peace everywhere. And the 40 of the innocent child, the Page of Cups. Okay, getting back to the purity of being as one in unity with everybody. So weird. I'm sitting here looking at the Mother Praise card, and I'm doing exactly what she's doing. This is the cards crack me up so much. This happens on TV all the time, where I'm looking at a card and I look up and the exact scene of the card is on the TV. Look at the Mother Praise. I was just holding my hands together in front of my chest, looking down at this card, and this head is looking down. That is so weird. All right, I have to read you one of those. Let's see here. So the golden egg, I'm going to read you that because that's one of the spirit cards. And of course, the heart is so important. All right, so the golden egg is the message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound, the sound of silence. And that was coming up here at the end as the void, the sound of silence. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within the sound resides a message, okay? And the hole in the heart comes up with this as well, right? Because you have resonance. You need space for resonance. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern-day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga, nidra, or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence, and that came up as the sap or the life essence, and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you're well on your way. Your chest may swell like you're seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Okay, so listen to your heart. And just focusing on meditation, especially for people who are just learning to do that. And then for 68 is the first card out to read, which is drop into your heart. So it's all about the heart here. There is a place of light within that no darkness can touch. It can't be shamed. It can never be made impure. It is never lost or darkened or unavailable to us. Though we may forget sometimes, sitting in a darkened room and not realizing we can stand up and walk into the light so close to us, just on the other side of the doorway to the heart. Whatever may arise, great joy, great sorrow, drop into your heart and offer to the divine, gently bowing your forehead to your hands in prayer. Connect your mind to your heart. Let yourself have some peace. It wants you, you know. This oracle brings you an offering. The divine would like you to offer whatever is bringing your heart trouble, or of course, joy. The divine would like to receive this from you as a gift, that it may return to you some special blessing. Place your hands at your heart, as I was just talking about my reflection of the mother praying. Put your hands to your heart, as I do for you guys when we take our deep breaths. And in genuine reflection, perhaps you may choose to offer your heart burden or light now. Either will be joyfully received by the divine, and you shall be graced with a gift in return. The poem simply reads, Longing, the dance to move beyond the feeling that draws me forward to a place born within that calls my soul to feel complete. That you are complete in every moment. And just keep drinking your water and keep getting plenty of rest and joy and nature, and that's all you need. All you need is love. So there's the trumpet. The trumpeter coming up and breaking the seal. Rise and be love, you guys. Have an amazing day. Breathe. And breathe again. And have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.